Yeah, I said it's Marvel's My Name is Earl.
Yeah, Mahalo said the same goddamn thing. So, which I thought was incredibly amusing. Okay.
All right, hang on. I'm going to blast out the link.
Okay, so can I tell you something?
Yeah, I said it's Marvel's My Name is Earl. Well, we're live. So as long as you're okay with it.
I guess I can't then.
I mean,
Catherine spent $600 on a book as an apology for behavior. That was our unboxing, Cecil. Hi, everybody!
I saw that it was an Okay,
dude,
wow.
That's
you just opened a can of worms in front of me.
$600 fucking book. Oh my god.
How much is your integrity worth, Fuego? Hey, you brought it up, son.
Thank you.
You brought it up, son. I'm just saying.
I shouldn't have.
Nope. You shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have. No.
All right.
This is because this guy is one of the best and dearest friends on the planet that I have, and that's why we do this together.
Always.
However, Ben Grimm. Man, somebody I follow on Letterboxd. Ben Grimm is almost as prolific as Jason Smith as far as viewership goes.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
We got Corey Novak. What up, Corey?
Yeah.
We got
Corey.
Zachary Hayes. Corey laughed at something that I did during the Dave stream that when I did it, I was like, I wonder how many people think I'm serious that I don't realize that there's only 50 states. Because I made a joke.
Oh, I saw the recurring joke of that.
That was fun. I was like, yeah, Canada should be the 51st state or the 52nd state, and he's like, well, it'll be the 51st. I was like, I don't know, Puerto Rico or some shit. And yeah, I was making a joke, but I wonder how many people thought I was serious. It's pretty funny. What's integrity? Zachary Haith is here as well. What's going on? All right, so let me put this in here and let everyone know.
Indeed.
Come join us right now as we talk live about 9 recent horror movie releases.
Love that guy.
In our newest, or let's call it our March. Review roundup.
Yeah, and that's the thing, everybody. Bam. Like, what of these have you seen? Because for me, the Emil Hirsch one was probably my personal favorite. I mean, Sun, yes, it's a very arbitrary, like, yeah, the movie is called Sun. But, yeah, that might be my favorite as far as all of these. Dreamcatcher is also pretty awesome. But, yes, give your thoughts, give your, recommendations, your denouncements, whatever the hell they may be. Bring that shizzle on. Did you watch Slaxx? That's all I'm really curious about.
All right, so I blasted the link out on Twitter. I'm getting ready to blast it on Facebook once it loads up. I don't know why my intranet is so slow.
Slaxx is pretty bad, though.
Pretty bad? I thought you said you liked it.
I appreciated it. That's probably a better way of putting it.
Snap. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I mean, dude, The Vigil. I loved The Vigil, and you weren't so much about The Vigil, if I remember correctly.
I thought The Vigil was good. I just didn't think it was worth necessarily its own separate review. Yeah. So we'll get into that.
And you watched my rental of it, if I remember correctly, right? So it wasn't...
All right. So I think we're all good to go. We've got some people filtering in.
Yeah.
We have a few viewers right now. I imagine that'll go up as we start talking.
Indeed.
So Fuego, let's start. Let's ease into them this week. Okay.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Let's ease into them and talk about. Hang on, I gotta make this window smaller. Oh my goodness, why am I doing it live? There we go. Okay, get smaller.
Yeah. There we go.
Get smaller. All right, catch up, and then.
And I always think of.
There we go.
Raised by Wolves with the little Asian girl is like, no one ever listens to me because I'm small. I love that line. I quote that to Catherine all the goddamn time because
what is
I
that
think
from?
It's from Raised by Wolves.
Oh, okay.
It's a little Asian girl from Raised by Wolves, and she's like, nobody ever listens to me because I'm small, and it's so funny to me. Anyway.
Oh damn, Corey Novak coming in hot with the Slaxx take.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm saying Empty Man was the best, was in my top 5 of 2020. Fuego, do you think in retrospect, before we actually jump to the movie, would it have made your top 5 list? No, you watched it at the time.
I did.
So it didn't. It legitimately didn't.
Yeah, I watched it back in October, but remember, it was one where I told you and Marsha, I'm like, I'm like, do not
Don't
think
always have to review hard.
In fact, sometimes
That's not right to
Just
do. All right,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
That was for Wences.
But the thing is, I had the same interpretations that Cecil did, that Stockman did, that pretty much everybody did, where I got the feeling that that film was going to be like a Bye-Bye Man,
Right.
Slender Man,
Bye-Bye
sort of
Man,
shit.
Slender Man.
And, dude, it is straight up, it's almost like dealing with
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it because I
there.
do want to dive deep into the Empty Man.
Yeah.
But let's
there
give
was
people
a
time
specific-
to filter in.
There's a specific religion that a lot of people in Hollywood adhere to, and that is the vibes that I got from.
Oh,
that
you were
film.
getting
big time.
Scientology.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
exactly.
Fuego, let's start with a recent release. I'm going to
Yes,
let you
let's
talk
do it.
about one of your movies first because here's the deal. We're talking about 9 movies. Fuego watched 9 of them.
Okay.
I watched 4 of them.
Sorry.
So it's 5 for Fuego, 4 for both of us. So I'm going to let Fuego start. Let's start with Coven of Sisters, Fuego.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Aquelarre.
So this
Trust
is
me, I was looking for Coven of Sisters posters, and there wasn't any. He just kept pulling up this. I was like, "What is this? I'm looking for Coven of Sisters," and it's like, "Oh no, this is that." Okay.
So the interesting thing about this flick specifically is that we are going to have a dubbed version coming out in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
So it's going to be dubbed
okay.
in audiences.
Might be worth trying at that time.
Yeah, for Netflix. But it's very A24 in the regard that it is a slow burn about, are these ladies like tied in with like brujas, with like witch nastiness, so to speak, and they actually, amusingly enough, these girls are mistakenly taken into custody, and then they start to play into it, dude. They play into the fact that they're actually witches, and there's this guy who was like a kinky piece of fucking shit. Sorry, I rarely cuss.
We're
on
past
this
the first 30 seconds. It's
Yeah.
okay. Fuck, shit, balls, ass.
Yeah, but I know you don't.
Taint.
Yeah, but you know that I don't cuss on this show very much. But this guy is like trash. He is very much like envisioning those sort of like satanic, like, oh my god, and he's like so into it. It's nasty. He's a piece of crap. But he is the one who is like, trying these women and wants to kill them. So it's rough in that regard. But biggest thing is the sheer fact that they aren't that, but they play into that, and that's about as far as I can go without spoiling stuff.
Okay.
But it's very well shot. A24, like a mofo, as I always tell Cecil.
Is it an actual A24 or just has that feel?
No, it has that feel.
Okay.
Completely. It's streamable on Netflix right now. So I actually really, for these Argentinian and Spanish films and stuff like that, dude, I like watching the subtitles, but a lot of people are not.
I do too.
A lot of people aren't about it, and so if you wait like another week, you can watch this dubbed, and you won't have as much like of your mind to incorporate towards it. But just the fact that these girls were like, wow, we're being needlessly accused, and we can kind of play into it. It was cool, dude. It was really cool. Yeah,
that sounds like an interesting take on a
it was
whole
fascinating
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wences, oh my god, cursing is Cecil playing Crash Bandicoot again. The more recent version of that is go watch my 2 Let's Plays of Ghosts and Goblins. The remake of Ghosts and Goblins, because I was a cursy boy during those. So yeah, all right. Well, that's Coven of Sisters. I'm interested, but I'll definitely wait until it's the dubbed version.
It's very good though. It's very good.
Fuego, I'm going to let you go again here because I wouldn't mind just having a few in a row that we can do together. So
fine.
Next, let's do this one. Now, this one.
About Violation?
No,
or...
Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
Let's talk about Dreamcatcher. Now, you just mentioned that this is a movie that you're like, I didn't necessarily want to like this, but I found myself liking this. And when I saw the cover, when you said you watched it and I saw the cover, I was like, this looks like something that might be up my alley. So I'm going to ask you to elaborate. Tell the folks about Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, man. I thought this
Again, this is a review roundup. So overall thoughts, story, acting, just condensed.
Truly. I thought this film was going to suck, man. And Sony Pictures would not have put their money behind this sort of endeavor if not for the fact that there was something worthwhile. And yeah, you have a like EDM DJ who is like your main person, and he gets involved with a girl, and then there's other people who like go to a show of his, and so on and so forth. And this is where I'm like very much dancing around the title. I thought that stylistically, I wanted to hate this movie so freaking much, but the story's really good, actually, and it worships at the foot of Scream, very much so. You know, in the fact that there's more than one person who's killing. You know.
Oh,
yeah, and I guess
that feels spoilery.
Yeah, I know, and I'm regretting even saying that, but dude, this film is slick. It is very well done. I did not like the predominance of the characters, but
was it the characters or the actors? You said characters, so let's be real. Was it the characters or the actors?
It was the way the actors were written, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So that does sound like characters. So it sounds like the characters.
Yeah, it's not like a nastiness of the fact that the characters were terrible, but they were written very poorly, and so the actors behind the performances, you know, they did all they could. But yeah, this film, it was, as I told Cecil, it was very much a film where I wanted to hate it. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh man, they keep doing things I'm surprised by. And
they keep subverting my expectations. Damn them.
Yeah, exactly. How dare they do something that I like struggle to credit, so to speak. And that's exactly what happened. And so, yeah, Dreamcatcher is not a great film by any means, but dude, it is within the contingent. Dude, it's better than Scream 3. You know, it's better than a lot of those very
I'm gonna get a little closer to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddying up. No, I zoomed in, so.
Yeah, but it's so much better than a lot of the self-aware fodder that we get, man. This film was really good.
Okay.
And as much as it pisses me off to admit it, it's a pretty freaking good film. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, no, I'm willing to give it a try at some point down the line for sure. I'll want to try it. So.
I almost recommended it on my Redbox when I still had it.
So let's do now one that we can talk about together. Let's go ahead and do one that maybe the audience can talk about as well, and that is Stay Out of the Attic. Okay, so you clearly weren't a fan of it.
I mean, it was alright, but you know.
And this is I couldn't put this, like, I had this poster on the thumbnail originally, and I'm like, YouTube will block this poster because of the swastika, yeah. So I have it up here, but yes, this is a horror movie that is surrounded by a Nazi aesthetic. So, but here's the thing. It was actually a really engaging movie. It was a crew of movers. 2 dudes and a girl that were hired by this old man to move him out of his house into a new house, and he just, when they show up, he wants to pay them extra to make sure it's done in one night. And they're like, I don't know, this is an awfully big house. He offers them a lot of money, so they're like, okay, we'll do this. And he's like, just don't touch the attic and don't go into the basement. There's a couple of, there's things I will handle myself. So don't do that. And of course, while they're going through and starting to move things, some of the people are a bit more investigative than they should be, and they start noticing things. One guy is an ex-white supremacist himself, so he starts to recognize certain German memorabilia and things from the Nazi regime. And it turns out that this old man has to do with the Nazi regime to an extent to which I won't spoil, but a much bigger extent than you might think. Like, when they explained who this guy was, I was actually impressed with the chutzpah that they had to actually do this. And yes, I did purposely use a Jewish term for balls right there. But yeah, it's... So they start to investigate certain things, and they find experiments that this guy may or may not have been involved with, and then they start to run afoul of said experiments, and they get locked in and have to try and survive through this man's terrible creatures and household setups, and I mean, there's not only creatures, but there's gas rooms. There's all kinds of fun stuff. So I had a good time with this movie. It's definitely not like the best movie of the year. It's not going to be in my top 5 of the year, but I definitely think it's worth discussing on this review roundup. You didn't like it as much as me, Fuego?
I mean, I appreciated it, but the biggest thing was that we just watched The Devil Inside right
True.
before.
It was back to back. Now, you hadn't
know,
seen this before it dropped on Shudder?
Okay,
I wasn't sure if this was a festival movie that you thought.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, yeah, it's... you appreciate the fact that zombies, zombie Nazis, sorry, jumping around. Nazis obviously suck, and that's a contingent, quotient, but
a contingent quotient? I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I'm wrong in that regard. But yeah, man, I was not compelled about the fact that nasty, evil Europeans, and
you weren't drawn to the characters particularly, then, I guess.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I liked it. Vera Morris, you can watch this on Shudder. It is available now. It was originally titled "Stay Out of the Fucking Attic," but they just took that out for marketing purposes. They had a couple things going against them in their marketing. Yeah. They had the fucking in the title, and they had the swastika on the door. That's going to make a hard time selling your movie for anyone. Corey Novak sending in a $5 super chat. Yeah. Don't mean to go off topic, but I got to get this off my chest. Check out Hosts on Shudder. The movie was great till the ending. We reviewed Hosts.
We did.
I think it was just Host, actually, right? It was just called Host. But nonetheless, yeah,
it was the Korean show, if I remember correctly.
Wait, right? Hosts was the Korean show? No, Host was the laptop movie.
I'm totally off base, man.
Host was the hour-long laptop movie that the guy sold.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm thinking of the warning, don't play.
Oh, yeah. No, not that one. All right, so let's... does it have an Overlord vibe? It has a bit of an Overlord vibe. I mean, it's not as action-heavy as Overlord, but it does have some of the similar, Americans going in and finding German shit that doesn't look right, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right, so let's we got Ramiro Marichalar. Stay Out of the Attic. I'm sorry for butchering your last name. Stay Out of the Attic was okay. Overlord was way better, though. Fair enough. Heard about this one on Curly Girl. Okay. No, there's Hosts. Then you have Hosts. Okay, fair enough, Corey. Fair enough. For Hosts is different than Host. Okay, so that's two people telling me that's different. So, Corey, let us know what Hosts is on Shudder. Tell us what Hosts is, and I'll add it to the thing for bringing it up. I'm always looking for a good horror movie. So that's Stay Out of the Attic. Now, Fuego, I'm gonna throw it to you for another one of yours. Okay.
Oh, boy. All right.
Let's do the Block Island Sound. What the hell is this movie?
Strange film.
Okay.
Very strange.
All right.
Basically, you have a protagonist who.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Gather your thoughts. Gather your thoughts on it.
No, it's fine, man. He is basically like off basis in the fact that this sucks, dude.
So this has been a reviews with booze situation.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so before let's do you want to go grab yourself some water or something while I talk about another one, or you think you'll be okay? You tell me, man. You tell me.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't tell me thank you.
No.
I didn't put you in this situation.
No, I know.
So do you want to get some water or no?
I'm fine, man.
All right. Okay. Well, you couldn't. So do you want to talk about Block Island Sound, or you want to go to a different one?
It's just the fact that I don't remember.
You don't remember Block Island Sound?
Yeah, not very well.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, then let's not talk about it. Let's not give false information about Block Island Sound.
Well, I mean, basically, this is a film about people thinking that they have some sort of inherent connection with oh man, I'm just like really badly trying to.
All right, well, let's not worry about it then.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about it. If we have to revisit it next month, we can.
Terrible on my part. I'm sorry.
Okay,
guys.
do you want to? Okay, so outside of that, there's really only. Hang on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
God damn it.
I'm missing one. I'm missing a movie from our review situation. Let me investigate that real quick. But while I do that, let's talk about one that you liked quite a bit called The Vigil.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched this one as well, but go ahead and give your thoughts while I go find the ones that I have left off here.
Yeah, The Vigil is awesome, and in the fact that I watched it at the same time that I also watched The Night, and so The Night was the first, if I'm not mistaken, Iranian film that was tossed into this particular sector. But The Vigil was about somebody who is gonna oversee the process of the night where somebody has died, and
yes,
it's like
it's a Jewish tradition.
Yeah, it's a Jewish tradition, and they're like gonna sit and just kind of hang out,
Yeah.
And this was very extensive in that regard. I found it much more profound than Cecil, but then again, we see things differently.
So yes, Fuego really liked this movie. He's like, "Oh, The Vigil was great.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a separate review." And I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." So I watched it on Fuego's rental. I don't care.
Yeah.
Come at me, bros.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Let me give my thoughts on it. Now, I will say that it feels like the most authentic Jewish horror movie that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton. But this and Hanukkah that we reviewed, a couple of years back that our friend from Mad Monster made, that was good. But The Vigil was, to me, the most accurate, or it felt the most accurate and the most authentic. So yes, there is a thing where in the Jewish community, especially in the Orthodox Jewish community, if someone dies, then one of their community that night is meant to sit watch over the body to make sure kind of keep watch over them as they move on to the next world, right? So that's what this is. And this man who has left the Jewish faith is called upon by someone from, a friend of his from back when he was practicing, says, "Hey, do you want to make $400 tonight? We need someone to come and watch over this person. They've been dead, and the person that was going to do it bailed on us." So he's like, "Okay, I'll take the money." And so he goes and sits watch over this person, and as soon as he does, weird shit starts to happen, and it escalates and gets crazier and crazier, but it still feels super authentic, and I really liked the movie. So it definitely has this same vibe and feel that The Dark and the Wicked has. That same sort of tone, and it's dark, but it's very A24-ish, but it's not disappointing like the A24 movies. It just didn't really hit home for me like The Dark and the Wicked did for whatever reason. But it is very much worth people's time. I don't want to give misgivings here.
It's a PG-13 film in that regard, and so, maybe there's like less of a just payoff, so to speak, but I love this film.
Yeah,
I do.
It was a really good one, and so Vera says, "I love religious horror. Makes it extra scary for me because of my upbringing."
Yeah.
Definitely give this one a try. The Vigil is absolutely worth your time, and I will be adding it to my library. Yeah. It just didn't ring quite all the way home with me.
That's the one that came out at the same time. So there was The Vigil, and then there was this particular film, and American filmmaking versus I don't know, Iranian filmmaking, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I don't know where this one originated, but okay, so let's go to the one that I had forgotten to add in here, Fuego, is your favorite that you just watched.
Oh, Son. Right?
No, I was being sarcastic. But this one here. So hang on, let me do a little camera switch here.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're talking about the recent Shudder release, Violation. So Fuego, have fun with this one.
It's a rough movie, man. It's a very rough film. And the fact that we've watched stuff like, Last House on the Left and Revenge and things of that
Nightingale.
nature. Yeah, exactly. Nightingale, too. Holy shit. I think Nightingale is actually more effective than this film.
Okay.
To be fair.
Okay.
But nonetheless, this one is where there's more of a coy sort of, like soft. I hate to say it. It's a nonchalant sort of rape.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because
careful with the R word, we'll get demonetized immediately.
I'm sorry, but it's the husband of the sister who has things go down, and she decides to kill this person, and it's really graphic and vicious the way she kills this guy, and I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that because they're like, shit, a man should have no right to do that, but does he deserve to die? I talked with Catherine about this, and she was just like, man, I don't know. I'm not one to pronounce judgment, and that's exactly where we're at. There is a doom of a particular character that is really just epitomous, I suppose.
So, well, I'm a little confused as to how the story actually plays out. Is it her seeking out revenge against this guy, and then the last 20 minutes is what she does with him?
No.
Or does that happen in the first act of the movie, and then does she go crazy after that point? Like, what is the story?
There is time jumping in this film.
Okay.
There's major time jumping in this film, and so initially you see what is like transpiring, and then they jump forward, and how she is mistreated and whatever, and then they jump back, and so it's of that
Okay.
help where,
Okay.
things are not like clear cut.
I'm not going to read Anthony's comment because it's going to throw Fuego off his game.
Why?
This says, this is my favorite Fuego. That Star Wars video is still one of the best things on YouTube. My dude was gone.
Star Wars?
I don't know. Apparently you did a faded Star Wars video at one point. All right, so Violation, though, it doesn't sound... See, I told you. It doesn't sound like it's my kind of... Rape revenge movies aren't my kind of movies, so it doesn't sound like this would be either.
Yeah, man, they're not my personal MO.
Not your bag either.
So, yeah.
All right, so let's do another one together then. Let's do one that we both watched, and let's jump in and let's talk about Slaxx. Slaxx. So this is a movie.
I look around, I'm like, where is my alcohol for Slaxx?
Oh, okay. Yeah, where is it? Where'd you do with it? Go get it. Did you leave it outside?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I don't see it around here. You might have left it on the shelf outside. Go grab it. I'll start talking about Slaxx.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Slaxx, man.
Do your thing. Don't knock over our lighting. So Slaxx, you guys. Slaxx is the movie about a pair of killer genes. That's right. It as stupid as that sounds, I gotta be honest, the movie ended up being a lot more entertaining than it had any right to be. Spootdev says very disappointed in Slaxx. I've seen some people say that, but I wasn't in Slaxx for, high art. I thought it was fine, and it did what I anticipated it doing. It just did it a little bit better than I anticipated it doing it. So, yes, it's as stupid as these genes are made from an area of the world where bad stuff happens, and so the blood and juju of these bad things gets into the cotton that's picked, that is then woven into the genes, and the genes end up having a murderous mind of their own. So it was silly, but it was fun, and I had a good time with it. And there was a weird Bollywood dance scene. They tried to tie in, Bollywood stuff, and that was well and good, but it was really just the silliness of the overall feature that I appreciated, quite frankly. Ben says, right, I thought it was entertaining. Not necessarily good, but it entertained. Vera Morris says, it's fun dumb. Yes, I think it's fun dumb. I mean, it's a pair of genes that's killing people. And, here's the thing. When I first heard of a movie called Rubber, and that was about a tire that was killing people. I anticipated Rubber to be dumb fun like this is. But Rubber ended up being way more high concept than it had any right to be, and it was sniffing its own farts the whole way, which it wasn't justified. But Slaxx, it doesn't try to sniff its own farts. It doesn't try to say it's better than what it's trying to be. It's literally just a killer pair of jeans, and it's gory. Like, people are getting severed in half, and their intestines are everywhere, and worse than that, like, it's really stupid, but it is fun dumb. Yeah, there you go. I had some kooky horror hopes. Big old Killjoy nope. Says Spootdev. Look, it's not as bad as Killjoy. Definitely not as bad as Killjoy. And it actually, again, when you get down to why and how the genes are actually murderous, it's a lot deeper than you anticipate it being for a Killer Genes movie. So that has to be stated. It has to be stated. So hopefully Fuego's going to make his way back in here and give his thoughts on it. Oh boy, he just knocked into something. All right, we're good. Come sit down. You didn't knock anything over. So I said that the movie was better than it had any right to be. So what are your thoughts on Slaxx?
Slaxx, man, I mean, biggest thing that I would say about this particular film is that it had something to say when I had no expectation that it was going to.
Okay.
It deliberately had just subtext and context that I was not anticipating, and so props to them for actually having something to say despite the absurdity of their concept. So
yeah, agreed. That's a good way to put it.
The biggest thing that I was just caught off guard by.
No, I like that, and that's a very cogent and well put point. So I think Fuego's turned a corner here in this review at this point, y'all.
Yeah, sometimes.
So all right, let's go ahead and.
You guys see my sports shorts? It's
That's okay.
I
Let's.
love my Phoenix Suns, Cecil.
I know you do.
I love them, man.
So, Wences asked earlier. Let's go ahead and address it, and then we need to get back to Mark Ryan's super chat. But quick question on intermission here. Any thoughts on Antebellum? Hubby got it on Blu-ray, and I've heard it's 100% mixed. I didn't watch it. I heard it's
not bad, but
it's just slave beating for slave beating's sake. That's what I've heard.
I will point out the reaction from a
Shyamalan twist.
Okay, but I mean, a very good friend of mine, being Chauncey, being a badass black woman.
Absolutely.
She thought that it was slave porn, and that was her term, and so I will reiterate.
Did you say slave porn?
Slave porn.
Oh,
that was her fucking term, man. I love that initial tracking shot. It's really brilliantly done, but it's a film that is almost like, I don't know. It's in of itself just like, I don't know. She hated it. I have such a tough time like talking positively about.
Well, there you go, Wences. I haven't watched it. I don't care to, but it's a slave movie with a Shyamalan twist at the end.
It's a very good looking movie, man, and based on that, the Shyamalan-ness, the Shyamalan-ness if you've watched it,
especially if you've seen The Village.
It's the.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so Fuego, let's move on from Slaxx and let's talk about one that you actually really liked. You said might be your favorite of this whole group.
It's true.
Sun.
Yeah.
And this actually, when you explained it to me, it did sound really good. So go ahead, hit everyone else.
Yeah, this film is incredibly intriguing. I think it did a dual theatrical release, and it was also, from the VOD perspective. But this is one with Emile Hirsch, and Emile Hirsch is, lots of people are like, man, that goofball. But yeah, man, he was Street Racer. He was The Girl Next Door. Like, he did lots of that stuff. And in this particular film, he is a cop where he's basically going after this woman who is dealing with major just mental problems. And you want to root for her initially, and God, I guess this is kind of a moderate spoiler, but she's nuts.
Oh, okay.
The mother is nuts. The mother is absolutely nuts. And
but is it because he's the devil, or does she think he's the devil because he's nuts?
That's a good thing to toss out there, because they don't make it clear cut.
That makes it so interesting to me, though.
Yeah, dude. This movie.
I mean, if you were the mother of the devil incarnate, you would go nuts.
This movie is really good, actually.
Okay.
It's the best of everything I watched this month.
So think about the fact that we're doing best monsters, and one of those categories is best devil. Because I've been trying to think outside the box for best devil.
This movie is nasty in the fact that
I still think I Trap the Devil is one of the best devils of all time. I love that. And you don't even see him until the very end.
That might be better than this one, but
okay,
holy fuck,
fair
man.
enough.
I mean, because this one goes for gore.
Yeah, Anthony, you should
whereas that other one did not. That other one, remember, it was like subdued in that regard. This one goes for the gore in a couple instances, and shit, this is a really, really satisfying movie, and a sad movie in the fact that it focuses so much more so on, in comparison, the fact that okay, you have a son, and he is like this nasty potential, world ender sort of thing. How do you think that would affect a woman who loves him?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do with this movie.
If Soren turned out to be the devil, I don't think Donna would have any choice but to still fight for and protect him. Because she loves him so much.
There are a few instances in this movie where she's just like, honey, what did you do? And blah, blah, like that sort of thing. And it's really fucked up. But it's so effectively put, the way that she will not relinquish her affirmation, her affinity, her love, her care, her compassion, all this different stuff. Like, it's different from what I've watched, and mad respect. It's called Sun. It's not streaming anywhere, guys. Unfortunately, you will have to pay that money to see it. But yeah, man, it's really, and also the fact that the mother believes one thing to be true, and that's not true. It's not true, and so she thinks that there are people after her, and the reality of the factor is that she is nuts. And she is envisioning things that happened when they didn't actually happen. Okay. It's really compelling shit, man. Sun is very good. Very good.
All right.
That's where we're at.
All right. So,
anyway, sorry,
Zachary Hayes says best devil is Al Pacino. LOL. Yeah, you know what? Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate was a front runner for my list. It did not ultimately win because there have been some good devils out there, but it's I did really like that one.
There's lots of delightful female.
Is there ever any doubt?
Lots of delightful female.
The 20th century was entirely mine.
Right,
love that. He had such good lines in that.
Yeah.
Vera says regarding Antebellum, excessively violent. I agree, it is slave porn. Yeah. Great cinematography. I didn't like it, but my family did.
Yeah. Okay. My wonderful black friend Chauncey thought it was slave porn, and she thought it friggin' sucked.
Just say friend. Yeah. All right. So
she's dating a long-haired.
I get it,
friend.
but all right. So do you want to talk about Block Island Sound, or you want to go to the last one? Because we have one other one outside of that.
What's the other one we're going to go to?
The Empty Man. So this is the last movie we have to discuss.
Just jump to that because Block Island Sound is very cool. It's very much a low budget sort of film, and
okay, no worries.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that alone, and we'll just talk about the Empty Man. So
this is the most interesting in the fact that I told you about this movie last October when it first came out. And you and Marcia both had the same reaction I expected, where you were like, "Yeah, it's like Bye Man bullshit, like whatever stupid."
I don't know. Did we watch the trailer or what? Did you just tell us about it?
I think I told you about it, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember watching a trailer for it, but it's come up in the zeitgeist recently because Stuckman did a review of it, and he's spreading the word saying this movie deserves more attention. And I was like, oh, and he described it as like another the Blank Man movie. It's like it's got its own lore where, you know, you basically, if you go to a bridge at night and you blow into a bottle and think about the Empty Man, he'll come for you over the course of the next 3 days. And so it's a little bit of The Ring, it's a little bit of the Bye Bye Man, it's a little bit of Slender Man, but it's done in a different, more deliberate, more A24-esque way than any of those movies have been done yet. And I will say that the opening scene, all the way up until when they credit the Empty Man, when they show the Empty Man title, everything, all the friends in the snow and all that setup, was so engaging. It was so engaging. I was so excited about it. I was like, this is going to be an awesome movie. And then, like, the first hour was really good. I was super into it. The second, it's 2 hours and 16 minutes.
You said in the group thread, you were like, can they stick the landing?
Yeah, can they stick the landing?
So on and so forth.
So I do think they stuck the landing. I think the ending was good, but the hour leading up to the ending was, it meandered a bit. I don't think it necessarily needed to be 2 hours and 16 minutes. But it was good. It was definitely. I'm glad I watched it for sure.
But did the Snyder cut need to be 4 hours? You know, it's like that sort of situation.
Well, apparently they made a 90-minute version of this movie, but I don't think it could have been 90 minutes. I think 2 hours. I think you could have shaved 15 minutes off.
Yeah,
but
I was reading that they like scanned it for critics, and you know they did not.
Right, they didn't like it that much. But excuse me, unavoidable yawn, guys.
I'm the one
we started recording, just so you guys know, we started recording about 5 hours ago. Yeah. So this is the last thing we're doing for the day. So we've been recording for about 5 hours straight. Yeah. So forgive us. But yeah, the Empty Man, so you have this group of couples. It's two couples as they go on this hike at the beginning of the movie in this snowy mountains, and one of them falls into a crevasse where it turns out there's this weird statue where it's, you know, the bones of a human being but all twisted and weird, and the friend that fell down there like is completely, he's sitting Indian style and just like talking to himself and silent and not willing to move, and the friend that goes down to get him, he's about to be like, okay dude, let's get you out of here, and then you just hear him whisper, and this was the most unnerving thing of the whole movie. He's just like, he just whispers and he just goes, if you touch me you'll die. And it's like, that's it. You just hear him just quietly whisper, just, if you touch me you'll die. And it's like, oh, it gave me goosebumps and stuff. And he's like, and so his hand gets really close, and then he hears, if you touch me you'll die. And then he like stops, and then he grabs him anyway, and his friend's head just goes down, just like sad, like now you're gonna die. It was so fucking good. It was one of the best horror movie setups of recent years. Now, did it follow through on that setup? Not entirely for me. Not entirely. But God, that beginning was so good.
The burden of expectation, man.
I didn't have super high expectations. It's just Stuckman even said it's not going to make all the way sense by the end. But it made enough sense. Like, I liked it. The story came full circle for me. I just feel like it dragged a little bit in the middle of that second hour. But overall, yeah, it's a very worthwhile movie for people to watch.
Yeah. I was massively disappointed that people did not go to the theater for this, and Well,
what did you like so much about it?
Par for the course, I honestly liked the fact that it was very inherently anti. It was a little bit nasty on the whole Scientology aspect.
See, okay, well, yeah. So there's.
Yeah,
the fact that I forgot what it's called, but the something
this,
project. But
yeah, there's this esteemed contingent and so on and so forth, and that was what I got most of it.
The worship the empty man kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly, and that's where I'm walking into the situation. Sorry, guys.
It works. I don't know. That didn't bother me. It didn't distract me. It was just a part of the plot. But yes, I will say that is where it dragged a little bit.
And,
it felt like that was where it dragged a little bit. So Ben Grimm says, I saw it in theaters and was talking all my friends into seeing it. Yeah, I wish I'd given it a try earlier. It wouldn't have made my top 5 of the year, But it definitely was a good movie, and it's to me it's the best one that we're talking about. You said Sun was your favorite, but I think The Empty Man. I like The Empty Man better than The Vigil, but The Empty Man and The Vigil are, if nothing else, if you guys haven't seen the movies we're talking about today, watch The Empty Man and watch The Vigil. Those are, I think, in my opinion, the two that deserve the most attention out of this week's or this month's review roundup.
Truly.
Stay Out of the Attic was fun. Slaxx was fun, but it doesn't sound. It sounds like those 3 plus Sun are the ones that are going to be the most worth your time this month. So yeah, that's going to do it, you guys. Why don't you let us know what your thoughts are on any of these movies in the comments down below. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys, we have about 10 minutes before we've hit an hour. So if anyone wants to ask some questions in the chat, let us know. We have Captain Midnight, the Chrononaut. Good evening, good sirs. He's here towards the end. Anthony DeCharo says, gotta check that one out. Yeah, The Empty Man is worth your time. Let's see. So. It's based on a Boom graphic novel, says Ramiro Marchalar.
Yeah, which
it gave me the Ring vibes. Yeah, and it was written by Colin Bunn, who Colin Bunn is a really good writer.
Yeah, and I actually want to read it, but yet from what I've read, it's drastically different, which is what's intriguing in that regard.
Anthony DeCharo has a good point. Yeah. We should do a devil tier list, a devil movie tier list. All right, I'm going to make a note of that, Anthony. We might just do that. Devil movie tier list ranking. God, that'd be good. We have clown movie tier list ranking, like, set aside, ready to go. Are we being too loud?
Thought so.
Well, maybe. Well, we're almost done here. We're wrapping it up right now. So, devil movie tier list ranking. I'm going to write that down so we can do that later.
Indeed.
But yeah, devil movie tier lists, along with other tier lists coming, along with the relaunch in May.
Yes.
Okay, so Corey asks, can you elaborate a little more on Hail to Stephen King no longer doing live reviews? Yeah, is that a thing you announced?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah, so Corey got confused. You mentioned something in your Hail that made him believe that you're not going to do Hail to Stephen King live anymore.
Okay, well, the clarification, it's going to be midweek in comparison, and so...
So it's not going to be Saturday live, it's going to be live on Tuesdays instead.
Yeah, although...
Tower Tuesdays or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the last Saturday, though, is going to be this upcoming Saturday.
Yes. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No, you have all of April. You have all of April going, too. Yeah, we're not relaunching until May.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, we're not relaunching until May. So you have your Hail Saturday here, and then you have all these.
Yeah, well, I mean, this Saturday was...
this Saturday is the last Hail for March.
The last Hail.
Yeah. But you have all the Saturdays in April for Hail as well. Yeah. So you'll have one more live Hail on the beginning of April, on that Saturday, right? You're going to do one more live book review? And then you're going to go to Tuesday starting the 11th.
Yes.
Did you announce the crossover or not yet?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't announce it here. We'll let you do that announcement when you're ready.
That's where we're at.
Did you talk to him, by the way, about that?
Yeah.
Are we in the works on that? Okay.
Yeah, he is down, man. He's just...
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I did miss a super chat. Thank you, Kevin. You're right. I did miss that super chat. God, let me go back up. Mark Ryan, Canadian, $5. Off topic, but the It's Me Billy trailer is insane. It doesn't look anything like a fan film. I'm so pumped for this, and of course DNN too. Yes, thank you, Mark. Yes, no, we did a trailer reaction to the It's Me Billy trailer. Fuego and I did it remotely, and God, yeah, Dave knows how to. Dave and Bruce. Let's be clear, because they're co-directing it.
They both commented on the video.
Yeah, they know how to make a Hollywood level feature on a fan film budget. So we are going to be doing another campaign for DNN. And we're going to raise the remainder of the budget, and ours is going to look just as good. And guys, I'm telling you, I'm putting in a lot of time on making sure the camera work is going to be meaningful and not just pretty pictures. So I'm excited to see what we can do, or excited to show you guys what we're going to be doing camera-wise for everything. So we're super excited about that. DNN is still chugging along. We're going to be able to launch the new campaign soon and shoot shortly after that, hopefully. But yeah, stay tuned for all of that. Any other questions, you guys, before we get going? Fuego, when am I coming over to help you do the new Stephen King set? Are we doing that in April sometime?
Before May.
Okay, so before May. So yeah, we're gonna rehaul the Hail to Stephen King set, and all is gonna be a good time. Now we're almost at an hour. Thoughts on Ben Wheatley's In the Earth? We actually just did a trailer reaction roundup before we did this movie review roundup. We recorded a reaction roundup that'll go up likely either tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah. So keep an eye on that, and we look at In the Earth and we discuss it. Fuego actually already saw the movie.
Yeah.
As a part of the Sundance Film Festival. So
it's friggin' beyond the point of psychedelic strangeness that you would anticipate. So bring it home.
Yeah. Yeah, In the Earth looks good. We reacted to, I think, 9 or 10 different trailers. And the one that surprised us the most was a movie called Separation, was it? God, that trailer was so good. So keep an eye out for when we look at the Separation trailer. Go watch the trailer for Separation. That looks like a good horror movie coming up soon. So, yeah, so that's our thoughts on Ben Wheatley's In the Earth. You're going to see all of our thoughts in the next day or two in our trailer reaction roundup, because we watched that trailer. So
yeah, In the Earth is... Man.
One more time?
In the Earth is badass status.
There
dude.
we go.
Like, what the fuck?
Captain Midnight says noise. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and shut her down there just because we didn't quite make an hour. It's not a big deal. We're not getting the questions flooding in, so we'll just close it down. We've had a long day of recording, so thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back in April to do our review roundup of all the movies that weren't quite worth a full single review for, but we have a lot of stuff coming in April. Anyone that's curious, this is what the schedule looks like as of right now. So
take a peek.
Yeah, take a peek. That's what's coming in April if you're curious. So go back and freeze frame on that if you want to know. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming, including on our April Fool's celebration is a very clown-tastic celebration. Then we review Pacific Rim the Black. We're going to review 30 Coins. We're going to review #Alive and Night Eats the World, Night Watch and Day Watch. We have a Lost Boys 4-day review section. Lots of cool stuff coming up. So, yeah, let us know what you guys are excited about. When is News with Booze? So News with Booze was supposed to be last week, but ended up not being able to happen. So now it's moved to April. I'm guessing it'll probably be the 3rd week in April. If we do it a little earlier in the month, we may. It might just be one of the first 3 weeks in May, one of the first 3 Sundays in May. I don't know for sure. Currently, it's slated for the 3rd Sunday in May, but since we missed March, we may go back and do, a little bit earlier, do like every month and a half. I don't know. But yes, it will be returning in probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So check that out then. But thank you guys so much for watching tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to our patrons for supporting the channel. The link to that is in the description box down below. But until next time, you guys, I've been Cecil Laird.
Jaime and Fuego!
And remember,
yeah, I know you're
stay
laughing.
scared.
Stay scared.